Greetings, Warrior fans. Welcome to another edition of the Warrior Weekly Show. I'm Sports Information Director Mike Stetson. I want to thank you for joining us. It's the holiday season, and a lot of the teams are wrapping up their fall and getting ready for the next semester. But one team that will be in action at home this weekend is the ice hockey team. So this week we sit down with one of the four Warrior goalies, Ryall Purdy, who's seen a lot of the action lately and has been busy in net for your Warriors. We talked to him about this weekend's series against Midland, as well as what's been going on the entire season with the Warriors. Want to remind you fans, also head out to the Ice Arena in Albert Lea this weekend for the final two home games of the semester for your Warrior hockey team, Friday 7:30, Saturday at 7. Now it's time for the Warrior Weekly Show. Welcome to this week's show, fans. Today we're joined by one of the Warrior hockey players, one of the Warrior goalies, Ryall Purdy. Ryall's been having an outstanding season, has been very active in goal the last few weeks. Ryall, thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me on today.
First off, let's talk about how the season's going for you guys. You guys got a couple of wins against a variety of the teams. You've played a ton of games. I think you're up in the 21-22 range for games already.
Yeah.
How has the year been going for you guys?
So far, it's been somewhat of a trying year. We've got a lot of different players on our team, a lot of different skill sets on the table. But overall, we've been working to click together in different ways, and we're slowly starting to pick it up and get some speed behind us and get some wins in here. I mean, we've got 3 so far. Hopefully we can get more towards that 500 mark, but overall it's been a really fun season.
You guys, a couple of weeks ago, you played Midland. I guess a very understating, say a feisty series.
Yeah.
And then you get them again this weekend. How excited are you guys to play the team? I mean, they're first place in the NAIA. How excited are you to get back on the ice with them and show them a different team than what they've seen the last couple games?
You know, I'm really excited to go up against them again. I think we've got them 7 times this year, and they're just such a talented team, a really well-run organization, and it's a lot of fun playing against that kind of team because it's looked at almost like a David and Goliath scenario, and we're the underdogs, and so coming in there, they have everything to lose, and we have everything to gain. So it's a lot of fun, really.
It's interesting you picked the David and Goliath analogy because watching you guys this year, the size of the team seems like it's been a factor for you guys. A smaller team, a more youthful team, quicker team. When you match up against teams that aren't as tall and physical, it seems like you do well. But when you match up against a team like Midland, who's got a lot of big players, it almost seems like they out-physical, and, I mean, some of the stick work and the extra stuff that goes on kind of takes you guys out of what you can do best.
Yeah, no, it's been tough, especially going against some of those bigger guys. And, I mean, they take the body and they play that rough game, and it takes some of our smaller players right out of it. But then there's been times where we play the body, we get physical with them, and all of a sudden they take a step back. They think, oh dear, these guys they're gunning for us. So it's a lot of give and take. If we can take it from them, take the body and just be physical, it changes the entire aspect of the game, really.
As a goalie, you don't get to be physical out there.
Sadly.
You get to stand there and be the crazy one who has 100-mile-per-hour pucks shot at you.
Yep.
What is it like standing in goal game after game and being the target?
You know, it's very interesting. It's a specialty. Not many people want to do it. In fact, one of my idols, actually, Ilya Bryzgalov, he was an NHL goalie that played for a bunch of different teams. He once said in an interview that the forwards came down and shot the puck and it hit him in the same spot over and over and over, and all of a sudden his chest protector broke. And the same thing can be seen in our practices and our games. I mean, that puck it's flying pretty fast, and when it hits you, a lot of times you're just putting your body in the way, and it hits you where you don't have pads, believe it or not, and it's pretty painful. But we have a good athletic staff that takes care of us afterwards with lots of ice, lots of attention, and it's a really fun time.
I know I had a chance to play goalie when I was growing up, and it does take a little bit of a unique attitude to be back there.
Mm-hmm.
Has it ever gotten to the point where you cringe, or have you ever gotten hurt so bad that you're like, why am I doing this?
You know, it has. There was a time where I got hit in the head, I think it was 5 times in a row by a puck, and it actually dented my cage right in. And I thought, wow, why in the heck am I doing this? I mean, I'm putting my head in front of a speeding rubber object, and it's painful, but it's what I love. I mean, it's why we put the pads on, why we go out there and do whatever it takes to stop the puck. So it's a lot of fun.
Now, you have been playing a majority of the games recently. Up until the last game, Dom got in goal, but you had, I think, 4 starts in a row. I think you had over 40 saves in a row, all those games, and getting on a nice little roll. How nice has it been that you have been the one finding the time in the net? Because I know there's 4 goalies and everybody's competing for that playing time.
No, it's been really nice getting my shot to get in the net. But I mean, our goalie core, a lot of teams look at it and they've got a bunch of different goalies, and some of them don't like each other. And ours, we're just so lucky to have such good guys. I mean, between Jeff, Bryce, and Dom and myself, we all click so well. And because of that, we're able to help each other and stand behind each other when we get our chance to get out there. Last year it was Jeff playing the majority of the games, and he did amazing. And Dom and I and Bryce, we just sat in the back and we cheered him on. We did what we could. When we got our shots, we took them, did what we could. And this year we're working hard and we're getting our minutes when we can. So it's really fun.
Everybody else on the team gets to play. They're getting 20 minutes a game. They're getting shift after shift. How tough is it for you guys to sit and watch on the bench?
You know, it's pretty tough, especially the goalie. I mean, you get 60 minutes and the others get 0. So it's a lot of tough mental challenges to overcome. But once you do get that shot, it's really, really rewarding.
What got you started playing goal?
Well, so back home in Michigan, we had our youth hockey association. They would pass goalie gear around the locker room after practices and games. The coach would say, okay, who wants to play goalie? And everyone would raise their hand. Some teams, no one would raise their hand. And my team was one of those teams. And so the coach said, okay, you've been goalie. Hey, Ryall, have you been goalie yet? And I said, no, sir, I have not. And he gave me the pads, and I tried it. And I did not look like a goalie by any means. I looked more like a fish, to be honest. But somehow it just like drew me back in time after time. And I wasn't very good at it by any means, actually, for a long time. In fact, still I'm learning something new every day. But it sucked me in, and I couldn't get away from it. So I tried it again, and then I went through the years playing as a goalie, and then I started to get my own gear for a while, actually. I had my own, like a player helmet. I had a little dangler right here, and it was not very safe, but people couldn't really raise the puck that high, so it was okay. But I got my own gear, actually got really lucky. The town I grew up in was right next to Michigan Tech, a Division I college campus, and I had good relationships with one of the goalies there, Jamie Phillips, and he was able to sell me his gear at a lower price, and I was able to use his gear, so it was top of the line stuff. Granted, it didn't match any of the teams I played on, but that was besides the point. I mean, it got it done. And so I got this gear, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I make something out of this. Maybe I try and go somewhere with it. And next thing you know, juniors comes around, and I go that route. Had some fun, had some troubles, had a little bit of everything really. And then Waldorf called, and I've been loving it since. I don't plan on doing anything other than goaltending, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what were you playing before you stepped in goal? Defense, forward?
I was actually a forward. I was a goal scorer.
Really?
In fact, I still tease my family and friends back home every so often about it. I once scored 7 goals in one game, wow, actually, in a town called Calumet, which was one of our rivals. Granted, I was about 12, but it's still one of my big accolades I like to tell.
Very cool. Now you're just a sophomore, so you got plenty of playing time left. What are you looking forward to as far as playing time and this team doing in the future?
In this team in the future, I hope we can make this into something great here at Waldorf. Maybe even get a hockey rink on campus. That would be nice.
That would
But
be wonderful.
as of playing time, I would love to see all of us get a chance to succeed in the net. But it all comes down to who's going to work the hardest and who's going to put in that effort to get on the ice. And coach, it's his decision at the end of the day. So whatever he sees out on the practice rink, in the weight room, in the classroom, that all adds up, and that's how he makes his decision. And so far, it's been me for a little while. And next thing you know, it's going to be another guy, and we're all working hard.
How tough is that? I mean, you mentioned getting a rink on campus. I'm sure people don't put it together necessarily. Other teams, they get done with class, they come over here to the DJAC, they suit up, they go out and they practice. They're done by 5, done by 6. You guys don't leave campus till like 7 or 8. You get to drive for 45 minutes to an hour in a bus that sometimes doesn't have heat. You skate for an hour along with getting warmed up and getting undressed. I mean, it's 4, 5, 6 hours of your day just to get a practice in.
Yeah, no, it's pretty tough. Our grind, as we call it, is probably one of the hardest here on campus. I mean, we go to classes. Everybody's got the 7:30s, the 8:30s, and after that, we've got either study tables or the weight room every day. And then our bus, as you said, doesn't leave till about like 7, 8 o'clock sometimes, and if it starts, that is. But we get to the rink, we do our work, we put in our time. I mean, it's all business once we get there. But by the time we get off, it's about 11 o'clock, 11:30, and we're tired, we're taking a shower, and we're ready to sleep on the way home. But it's late nights and early mornings, but it's a grind that we've become used to.
Yeah, a little bit different, but still got to be kind of fun. Good team bonding experience for you guys.
Oh, we have a blast. I mean, our team, we just have so much fun together, whether that's in the locker room, in the vans, or the bus, or however we're getting to the rink. We always find a way to have a good time, even though we're looking out the window at cornfields constantly. Still have fun.
You've, like you said, you've got a couple more years to play. Have you thought about what the future holds for you?
Well, I have actually put a lot of thought into it. I've reached out to use a number of different resources, people I know, and I've come down to wanting to do metaphysics as grad school, and hopefully before that continue to professional hockey just as Jeff Bartell had. That would be the dream, and maybe get like some online classes, to be honest.
Yeah.
But no, I'd like to go to grad school. I'd like to get a nice degree, but I'd also like to use whatever playing time I've got left in my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay in the U.S.? Do you want to go to Europe? Do you have, just wherever somebody comes knocking, you'll go?
I would honestly go wherever they're knocking, but I have actually a lot of deep family roots in Germany, and
Really?
I took 2 years of German when I was in high school, and I fell in love with the culture. One of my youth hockey coaches was actually from Germany. He played professional over there and came over here, and it's just, I love the culture, and I love just all the different aspects of the European hockey game. It's amazing. It's much different than the U.S.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like it could be exciting.
Definitely.
It'd be fun to see it'd be fun to see a lot of the Warriors go pro and see them move up to that next step. Well, I appreciate your time. I know you guys got to get ready for a big weekend again.
Definitely.
Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us today,
Yeah.
and good luck this weekend.
Yes.
Fans want to remind you that Albert Lea Ice Arena will be hosting the Warriors this weekend. Both Warriors, Midland Warriors against your Waldorf Warriors. 7:30 puck drop Friday night, 7 o'clock Saturday. Be sure to come out. It's the last 2 games of this semester. The guys will be off for Christmas and then back in action in January. So last chance to see them this semester as they take on the league leaders and look to even the score after the last games.
Definitely. Thank you for having me on today. It's been a blast.
Appreciate it, Rob.